Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Too Good to Be True podcast. I am your host, Pascal Mayala. Today it will be on audio only because normally I do my video in the morning when I am in France, but I was very busy this morning, so I didn't have a chance to do it, uh, be live on my video. So I decided to do on audio, but at the same time, I enjoy to be with you on audio. So if you want to follow me on my podcast of Too Good to Be True podcast, you can listen to this podcast on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, and also I will put it maybe on my YouTube channel, only exclusive on the audio version, because normally I do my video and I put the audio on my Spotify, on Amazon and Apple Podcasts. But for this exclusive for now, not forever, but now, this is gonna be on audio, what I will put on my YouTube channel of Too Good to Be True podcast. So before we start this, like I said, you can listen to this on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, or you can watch my YouTube channel, Too Good to Be True podcast. I'll put a video on my podcast on the YouTube channel, Too Good to Be True podcast. And before you listen to this, I just want you guys to do something on my YouTube channel: like, subscribe, notification, leave your comment on the video, because your comment means a lot to me. And let's get started. Because we got a lot of things to say today, because we had a lot of sport today. But first, we have to congratulations of two teams right now, one in the WNBA and one in the MLB. So let's start with the WNBA. Congratulations to the New York Liberty. They just became WNBA championship for the first time in their franchise history after 28 years since the team was added in the WNBA. So let's start with the stats right now. So let's start with the winning team. Let's start with the Finals MVP, Jaquel Jones, 17 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist. Shot for 5'10" in the field goal, 0 and 2 in the 3-point. The second, Brianna Stewart, 13 points, 15 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, and 3 blocks. Shot for 4 and 15 in the field goal, 0 and 3 at the 3-point. And also, Fishbish, the German, 13 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steal. Shot for 4-11 in the field goal, 1 and 4 at the 3-point. And also shout out to Satu Sabali's sister, who she also dropped 13 points, 7 rebounds, 1 steal, and 1 block. Like I said, you don't know what's going to happen at home court. And I always said this: role players are better when they play in their home court. And Lord be told, I was right all along. Your bench need to add in, or I would say this, need to be in the play. So shout out to the coach. And shout out to Satu's sister Sabali. She came out the bench, did not know if she's going to be have a role in the play. But you know what? When their number calls you, you better show up on the court to contribute. And what she did, she contributed. Now, for the losing team, the Minnesota Lynx. And also, I just want to give shout out to the Minnesota Lynx. Forced a Game 5 and overtime. So, let's start with Nafisa Collier, who she had a phenomenal game. 22 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks, shot for 11 of 23, and 0 and 2 on the 3-point shot. Also, Kayla McBride, 21 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals, shot for 7 and 13 on the field goal, 1 and 6 on the 3 points. But this is the only two player who really contribute compared to his other team. I might add, they did not show up. Courtney Williams, you showed up in game 2, shot the buzzard, and then now after game 5, you have 4 points, 3 rebound. Actually, sorry, 4 rebound, 3 assists, 1 block. You have 5 turnover, which is baffling, and you shot 2 for 14. When you're the third option of the team, you need to show up, and she did not show up. And also, there was a controversy. If I before we switch up the topic, there was a controversial call from the officiating that they didn't call. They thought that she committed a foul. After I looked the video, I don't think it's a foul personally, but let's see what Coach Reeves got to say about that. So let's listen what she got to say.
6 minutes left. Liberty down by 2. Breanna Stewart. Gentlemen, you tell me, is that a foul on Alana Smith?
No.
There would be a challenge.
I say no.
Tell me, is this a foul?
I say no.
They challenge it. The call is upheld. Breanna Stewart makes both free throws, and that would send the game to overtime. Here's one more look. After the game, Minnesota coach Cheryl Reeve.
That was not a foul. That call should have been reversed on that challenge. If we sent that clip in, they would have told us that it was marginal contact, no foul. Guaranteed. All the headlines will be Reeve cries foul. Bring it on, right?
So you heard what she said, and I'll agree that wasn't a foul. I think that was more like an offensive foul to me than a defensive foul. Because if you look at the video closely, actually I cannot show you the video, but you can look at it on YouTube. If you look at it very closely, she have both her hands up. You can't see me, but she got both her hands up, and Breanna Stewart forcibly goes to the lane, hits her, and the ball did not get in. But my point is that they always taught you, even I play basketball too. They always taught every young player, put your both hand in the air, so for not committing the foul. And I don't think that was a foul, because if I look at it very closely, if she had put her hand up, but at the same time hits it, Breanna Stewart had a contact, that would be a foul. So to me, that wasn't a foul. So the ref pretty much screwed her up, but at the same time, it is what it is. We don't know what to do with it. But anyway, but congratulations to the New York Liberty, and finally the city of New York can really celebrate their championship. Finally. Because Stephen A. is making us shut up. for crying out loud. But there's another congratulation on the baseball right now. The Los Angeles Dodgers won against the New York Mets 10 out of 5. So they go into the World Series, and the matchup set between the New York Yankees and the LA Dodgers. This is the first time they have met in the World Series since 1981. I wasn't even born in that era. I wasn't even born when the LA Dodgers and New York Yankees played in the World Series. But let's see the stats. Uh, let's start with the Dodgers. I mean, what more can I say for the Dodgers? Shohei Ohtani, 4 ABs, 2 home, 1 RBI, 1 BB, 1K, average .286. Also the OBP, a .434, and this SLG is .500. Mookie Betts, he has the 4 AB, 1 home run, same thing, 1 H, RBI 1, BB 1, and K1. He averaged .295, OBP .404, sluggish .6659. Meanwhile, in the Mets, Lindor, 4 ABs, R1 H, 0 RB1, 0 home run, 1 BB, 1K, average .275, OBP .387, and sluggish .490s. So what can I say about this game? I thought the LA brought their A game. They were in a home turf. You know, when you got the home turf, you got the home crowd on the field, so you're probably gonna get the advantage. And now that the match in the World Series is set, and for that one, I'm not gonna give my prediction. I'll give it later. Maybe not. Maybe on Saturday morning at 1 a.m. in the morning in France, I will give my prediction. And I will say this: I'm not mad for the Dodgers against the Yankees each other, because it could have gone both ways. It could have gone Mets versus the Yankees, the battle of the subway. It will probably get up for the ratings. But at the same time, also you could do that with the Dodgers. You're probably going to see a fantastic game from both teams in the World Series. So I don't mind to see Dodgers going to the World Series, or if the Dodgers lost, the Mets won, and they were forced like a Game 7, the Mets won, you probably going to the World Series. I don't mind that, because you know what? It draws rating. I think with Dodgers going to the World Series, I think it will be great for the Dodgers, and also for Shohei Ohtani, which they were fantastic. He was fantastic, and I think he's a draw also for generation after generation. So that I cannot wait to see it. And I will tell you what, I'm not gonna be disappointed this World Series. It makes total sense, and also it will draw ratings. I'll be honest with you. But speaking of ratings, also the New York. Someone said the New York. Let's switch. Actually, I also going to talk about the New York two New York team in the football. So let's switch. Let's talk about the NFL. Real quick. Let's talk about the what happened on Sunday Night Football. Um, Sunday Night Football. So let's start with uh the Jacksonville Jaguar versus the Patriot. Um, a great win for the Jacksonville Jaguar, 32-16 against the Patriot in London. I didn't mind that. It wasn't really. I didn't really pay attention, but the Cowboys won the game with Trevor Lawrence with 15 catch, uh, uh, 20 attempt, one touchdown, 0 sack. He averaged 9.7 with the 193 yard. For the rushing, Tanks Bixby, he had 26 carried, 118 yard and 2 touchdown, average 4.5. Who else? Also, don't forget Trevor Lawrence did the rushing for 13 yard. In the receiving, Brian Thomas Jr. I believe he's the rookie. The rookie. He have 89 yard, 1 touchdown, 5 reception. He averaged 17.8. Yeah. Evan Ingram had a 5 reception, 35 yard, 7.0 average, and 0 touchdown for 13 long. Christian Kirk, he had 24 yard, 1 reception, 0 touchdown for a 20 point average. Compared to the New England Patriot, I know Drake May, he's a rookie. He had 2 touchdowns. He wasn't that bad. He got 26 completion, 37 attempt. He had 276 yards, average 7.5, 2 touchdowns. He had like the rating of 109.7. And I forgot to say about Trent Rollins, the rating of 121.5. So in the rushing, so you didn't have many fantastic rushing from them. So for Ramondre Stevenson, he had 7 carries, 18 yards for 2.6 average, 0 touchdown. Same thing with Drake May, 18 yard, 3 receptions, average 6.0. But the rushing, they were not perfect. Now for the reception, there's only like what 3%, 2% with a touchdown. One is Jermichael Hasty, 5 receptions, 49 yards, 9.8, 1 touchdown for 60 long. So he was targeted 5 times. And KJ Osborne, 2 receptions, 26 yards, 13 average 13. He had 1 touchdown. But Hunter Henry, he had 8 receptions, 92 yards, average 11.5 for 32 long, and he was targeted 9 times. So, like I said, when I was doing my prediction, I said the New England Patriots on a rebuild. So I'm not surprised. About that. So I got nothing to say, but congratulations to the Jacksonville Jaguar for the win against the New England Patriot. Now moving on. Next game, the Seahawks versus the Falcons at a Mercedes-Benz in Atlanta. So great win for the Seahawks. 34-14 against the Atlanta Falcons. So Geno Smith, he had a pretty good game. He had 18 catch, 18 what C at 10-28. He had 207 yards, average 7.8 4, 2 touchdowns, no interception. He got sacked one time. And I'll be honest with you. I mean, my God, Geno Smith, even though he's not the future for the Seahawks, but you can see how he plays well compared to Kirk Cousins. He had 20 what is it? Cat throw 24 C, 35 attempt, 232 yard, average 6.6, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. He got sacked three times. And I believe Michael Penix Jr. Started because he got because Kirk Cousins got benched. So Michael Penix Jr. he got one C and 1 of 10, average 14 yard, 0 touchdowns, 0 interception. Oof. But let's see who got the rushing. So we had to give Kenneth Walker the third, 14 carries, 69 yards, average 4.9, and he had 1 touchdown. Compared to Bijan Robinson, who, by the way, he got 21 carries, 103 yards, average 4.9. He had 1 touchdown for 26 long. Damn. I will tell you what, I think the Falcons did draft very well to have Bijan Robinson. I mean, I said this. When I did my prediction, I said I would pick the Seahawks over the Falcons because the Seahawks, we can see they were hungry. They want that win. They want that win after a loss last week. So we got to give the Seahawks credit. Go to somebody's turf and win. And DK Metcalf, for the reception, he had 4 reception, 99 yards, 24.8, 1 touchdown. He was targeted 7 times. Compared to Kyle Pitts, who had 7 receptions, 65 yards, 9.3, no touchdown. He got targeted 9 times. Drake May, he had Drake London. He had 6 receptions, 63 yards, average 10.5, had 1 touchdown for 8 he got targeted 8 times. Also for the Seahawks, Kenneth Walker the third, he got 2 receptions, 24 yards, 12. He had 1 touchdown and he was targeting twice. So, and I predicted that the Seahawks going to win, but also we heard the news that DK Metcalf is injured. We don't know what's the update of him, but I heard that he will be he will be day by day injured. We don't know if he's going to play next week. So I hope that DK get well and we wish nothing but the best for him. So let's move on to the next game. The Bills, the Titans versus the Bills. This is what Amari Cooper debut for the Bills, and for that, Josh Allen had a good game. He had 21 C, 33 attempt, 323 yards, average 9.8, and he had 2 touchdowns and 1 sack. For the rushing for the Bills, you got Ray Davidson with 5 carries, 41 yards, average 8.2, had 1 touchdown. James Cook, 12 carried, 32 yards, average 2.7, and had 1 touchdown. So the reception, like I said, Amari Cooper had started his debut with the Bills. He had 4 receptions, 66 yards, average 60.5, had 1 touchdown for 27 long, and he was targeted 7 times. Keon Coleman, 4 receptions, 125 yards, average 31.3, targeted 7 times. And Ty Johnson, 1 reception, 4 yards, average 4.0, had 1 touchdown, got targeted once. Compared to the Tennessee Titan, and like I said, Tennessee Titan, I mean, Mason Rudolph started it over Will Levis. He had 25 C. He had 40 time attempt. He had 215 yard, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. He got sacked 3 times. He averaged 5.4. In the rushing, Tony Pollard, 60 carries, 61 yard, averaged 3.8. And that's all for the rushing. And for the reception, Ching Kongwo had 4 receptions, 50 yard, average 12.5, 0 touchdown. He was targeted 4 times. Nick Westbrook Ikine had like 2 receptions, 10 yard, and he had 1 touchdown. He was targeted once. So this game was pretty much a meaningless game, personally. And the Titans are in the rebuild, and I said this: they need to trade. Who else? They need to trade DeAndre Hopkins. It's not working. They need to trade. And Calvin Ridley, he got 92 yards. He got before we continue. Calvin Ridley had 3 receptions, 42 yards, 4.0 average. He was targeted 9 times, which is great. He should be your number one wide receiving. So, like I said, the Titans are in the rebuild, but this is more about the Bills than the Titans. Because and the debut of Amari Cooper. That's all I'm going to say about that. Moving on for the next game. The game, and this one we were going to talk about it. You got the Bengals versus the Cleveland Browns. With the win with the Bengals, 21-14. Joe Burrow, 15 feet, 25 attempt. He got 181 yards, average 7.2, 2 touchdowns, 3 sack. And also that was the return of Nick Chubb. I don't think he played. Nick Chubb for the Cleveland Browns, but I will talk about later. So let's start with the rushing. Chase Brown, 15 carries, 44 yards, average 2.9 average, and 22 long. In the reception, T. Higgins had 4 receptions, 82 yards, average 20.5, 1 touchdown, targeted 8 times. Jamar Chase, 5 targets, 55 yards, 11-point average, had 1 touchdown for 16. He was targeted 6 times. Now let's compare to the Brown. And let's talk about this because I want to talk about it right now. Deshaun Watson had 50 feet, 17 attempts, and I mean he had 0 touchdown, 0 interception, and he had sacked twice, and he got injured. And this is where I want to talk about it before. Actually, I will continue. He got replaced by Jameis Winston. He got 5C, 11 attempts, 67 yards, 6.5 average, 1 touchdown, 1 sack. And in the rushing, I know Nick Chubb just came back from injury, so welcome back. I'm so happy to see him. He had 11 carries, 22 yards, average 2.0, had 1 touchdown and 5 long. In the reception, you had David Joku, 10 receptions, 76 yards, average 7.6, had 1 touchdown. Now let's talk about the Deshaun Watson situation. I was very pissed what happened. And for those who don't know what happened, Deshaun Watson torn his ACL, and it has the fan of Cleveland booing when a man is down. So I want to share this video with the video of Deshaun Jameis Winston talk about the crowd, and I will give my opinion, and also Myles Garrett too. So I want to give my opinion on it later, but let's listen to both guys. What they got to say about the Deshaun Watson. So listen up.
The way I was raised, I was taught to love no matter the circumstances, especially for people who do right by you. I'm grateful that I had a chance to serve Deshaun, but I am very upset with the reaction to a man that has had the world against him for the past 4 years, and he put his body and life on the line for this city every single day, regardless of your perception, regardless of what you thought should happen with him. He committed every single day that I've been here to be the best that he can be for this team. And I know I come from the deep south, Birmingham, Alabama, Bessemer, Alabama. So I know the standard that hungry fans want. But the way I was raised, I will never pull on a man when he's down. But I will be the person to lift him up. And that, all of us have unique experiences. All of us have circumstances, conditions, and facts that we face every single day. And I pride myself in being a man of increase and being a man that wants the best out of everybody. I tell myself every morning, what I want for myself, I want for everyone. And I do not want the treatment that Deshaun Watson has received from these passionate fans. I know you love this game. When I first got here, I knew these were some amazing fans. But Deshaun was treated badly. And now he has to overcome another obstacle. So I'm going to support him. I'm going to lift him up. And I'm going to be there for him. Because I see the way he fights. I see the way that he works. And I know who he is as a person and as an NFL quarterback. And that's all I have to say to address him. I'm sending up my prayers. I already prayed for his leg, and I will continue.
So you heard what Jameis Winston said, and let's listen to Myles Garrett, what he got to say about the Cleveland fan, and I will give my opinion later. So let's listen to Myles Garrett.
No one deserves that. I've seen him work his ass off to get back here, in here, and put a smile on his face, and try to put everything that's outside the facility behind him. Death threats, people come to his house, people, going after his family. Like I said, no one deserves that. And I hate using the word deserves. I'm usually pretty consistent saying earned. He hadn't earned it, and he doesn't deserve it. Man does pretty much everything right. He's been a model citizen through college and most of the pros. He plays the game as hard as anyone I've seen. Puts everything on the line, willing to throw his body out there, and he plays the game at 100 miles per hour, and there's a risk of being injured, and he took that risk. But we have to be there for him as a team, as an organization. We can't look down on the guy because of any mistakes on the field or anything off the field. No worry. don't have anything. We don't have any more high ground to look down on the guy. He gets injured like that or not.
So you heard what Myles Garrett said. I mean, both guys, Jameis Winston and Myles Garrett, have every right to cut out the fan who booed Deshaun Watson when he tore his ACL. The same fans who cheered when Deshaun Watson got signed with the Cleveland Browns after his situation, what happened with the sex allegation with him. I mean, there's respect. Actually, I'll take it back. You gotta understand the athlete standpoint. When they play on the field, they take their bodies on the line, because football is a collision game, and you never know what's gonna happen on the field. Whether you got a CTE, probably a broken collarbone, or you broke your ribs, or you got a torn ACL, because they put their body on the line. For the people who were cheering, actually not cheering, but booing for Deshaun Watson go down and torn ACL, I will not respect you. What they said is kind of true. Booing when a man is down, because that Deshaun Watson worked so hard to come back, be the same Deshaun Watson what he was when he played for the Houston Texans during his prime. And for that, the fan booing and torn his ACL is very disrespectful. Very disrespectful. And I hope the Browns fan can look at the mirror, can say, oh shit, I really fucked up what I did. Because the way they did, the fans really fucked up. And I will never do that when a man goes down. So, speed recovery for Deshaun Watson. And let me talk about this, and before we continue, talk about the other game. All my life that I know about Deshaun Watson, I don't know him personally. Before the sex allegation and after and the continuation of the sex allegation, Deshaun Watson is a model citizen just like you and me. Athletes are just like human, you and me. They breathe like us. They bleed like us. They have the same problem, even though they are manufactured, because it has been put on social media, compared to a regular person like me, like you, like the rest of the world, have to go through. And for Deshaun Watson to go down, yes, he got paid like $98 million because they needed a QB, and yes, Joe Flacco really replaced him. But you guys in the I don't think the division around in the wild card, we had to praise him, Joe Flacco. And when Deshaun Watson came back, I don't think he was the same. But I will say this: that guy bust his ass, just like every athlete that put up a ball in the hand, go on training, they bust their ass for us. For us, for them to win a championship. That's your goal. Win a championship. But for the people who were booing, I will never fucking forgive you. All the Brown fans were booing. I will never forgive you. That's all I gotta say about that. Now, moving on from the Brown and Bengals, we had a very fantastic game with the Houston Texans and the Green Bay Packers, with a field goal win on the pack against the Texans. So Packers, congratulations. It was the battle of the two QB. C.J. Stroud and Jordan Love. So let's start with Jordan Love. He had 24C, 33 attempt, 220 yard, average 6.7, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 3 sacks. His QBR, I forgot to put the QBR, but I'll talk about the QBR. So the QBR is 60.3. So his rating is like 90.5. So this is the first time I'm talking about ratings. Now for CJ Stroud, 10C, 21-10, 86 yard, average 4.1, 4 sack. His QBR was 22, and his rating was 58.8. So let's see about the receiving. Actually, I think the rushing, my bad. Josh Jacob, 12 carries, 76 yard, average 6.3. Joe Mixon, 25 carries, 115 yard, average 4.6, got 2 touchdowns. Receiving, Stephon Diggs, 5 receptions, average 23 yard, 23 yard, average 4.6. Was targeted 7 times and no touchdown. Actually, no touchdown in the Texans side, but in the Packers, Dontavian Riggs, 3 receptions, 48 yards, 16 average 16, had one touchdown. Tucker Kraft, 3 receptions, 33 yards, average 11, 1 touchdown, was targeted 4 times. Romeo Dubs, 8 receptions, 94 yards, average 11.8, who was targeted 10 times. So the field goal really helped them, but also it was the battle between Jair Alexander and Stephon Diggs. So they go way back a couple of years ago when Stephon Diggs and was playing with the Buffalo Bills. I mean, both talking smack. So I don't have a problem with it. So congratulations to the Texans. Now the Colts versus the Dolphins. I got nothing to say about that. But also, let's talk about only the Actually, I want to talk about it. I will talk about it. So Anthony Richard had 10C, 24-10, 129 yards, 0 touchdown, 0 sack. Compared to Tyler Henley, 7C, 13-10, 87 yards, average 6.7, had a 1 touchdown. So the rushing, the only rushing I could see is Davion Achin, 15 carries, 77 yards, and average 5.1. Tyler Goodson, 14 carries, 51 yards, 1 touchdown, average 3.6. Then the reception, the only one had touchdown is Jonu Smith, 7 reception, 96 yards, average 13.7, 1 touchdown, targeted 7 times. If you ask how many touchdown targets he have, he got 0. He was targeted 3 times, and he averaged 8.0, and he had 8 yards. So in the Indiana Colts, so Michael Pittman Jr. had 3 receptions, 63 yards, 5 targets. He had 20. He averaged 21. So I got nothing to say about this game. But the return of Anthony Richardson was very great to see. I got to say about that. Now the game that I loved, the Lions versus the Vikings. Great win for the Lions, 31-29, and that ended the streak of the Vikings of 5 straight wins. Their first loss against the Lions, and the Lions are head of the NFC North. So, Jared Goff had 22C, 25-10. He got 280 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 sacks. He averaged 11.2. he had a QBR of 87.3. Compared to Sam Darnold, he had 22 C, 27 attempts, 259 yards, one touchdown, one interception, 4 sacks. He averaged 9.6 and a QBR of 46.2. Jamari Gibbs, he had 15 carries, 160 yards, 2 touchdowns, average 7.7 compared to Aaron Jones, 14 carries, 93 yards, 6.6 average, 1 touchdown. I'll tell you what, the Lions gave them all, give their best game, even though the Viking lost, but they brought their also the A game. So Amon St. Brown had 8 reception, 112 yards, 1 touchdown, had targeted 8 times, he averaged 14. Khalif Raymond, 3 reception, 39 yards, 1 touchdown, targeted 4 times, averaged 13. Now on the Vikings side, Justin Jefferson, 17 reception, 81 yards, 1 touchdown, targeted 8 times, is averaging 1.6. So that was a great game. At the end, like we saw, field goal, they won, they ended. But it was a brutal, the battle of the NFC North. Like I anticipated because I knew it would go one way or another. So it probably went a back and forth, which I love. And by the end of the day, the Lions pulled out the victory. Now, the Eagles versus the Giants, the return of Saquon Barkley back in the MetLife Stadium. And oh boy, I'm not going to give the Giants stat because it's terrible. Nobody showed up. So we're going to go with only the QB because it's going to be interesting. 14C for the Giants. 21 attempts, 99 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He got sacked 7 times. Compared to Jalen Hurts, he had 10C, 14 of 10, 114 yards, 1 touchdown, 4 sacks. He averaged 8.1. And the QBR for Jalen Hurts was 68.5. Compared to Daniel Jones' 16 QBR, 16.6 QBR. So I'm not gonna give the Giants stat on the rushing because it was embarrassing. They didn't do anything, but it was the return of Saquon. He had 17 carries, 176 yards, 1 touchdown. He had a 10.4. But Jalen Hurts also rushing 17 carries, 22 yards, had 2 touchdowns. Now in the reception, A.J. Brown, 5 targeted 5 times, 89 yards. 1 touchdown, targeted 5 times. He had a 17.8. You see, that was a meaningless game. But I'm glad that Saquon got his revenge. And I'm glad he got his revenge for that. Because now understand how the New York Giant organization are the worst. Not compared to my Saints. That's another thing, but they had the worst. Now the Rams versus the Raiders. Great victory for the Rams, 20-15. I mean, I know Aiden O'Connell did play, but he was injured, so he will be week by week. We don't know when he's gonna come back. Gardner Mitchell, he will start probably the rest of the week. Gardner Mitchell had 15 feet, 34-10, 154 yards, 2 interceptions, 2 sacks. Compared to Matthew Stafford, he also had a terrible game. Actually, both quarterbacks have both terrible games. They're pretty much a little bit identical. So he got 15C, 23 up 10, 154 yards, 1 interception, 1 sack. this one. Let's continue. Then I'll give my opinion. So, Kyrie Williams had 76 yards, 21 carries, 2 touchdowns, average 3.6. I mean, other than the run game, the reception. I know they don't have Puka Nakua, and I know they don't have Cooper Cup. I don't know when they're gonna come back, but this team was pretty much a disappointment. I mean, same thing with the Raiders. I mean, even though it was an okay game, I don't know how I feel about this because, in one hand, you don't have Aaron Donald in the Rams, and the other hand, you had traded Devontae Adams to the Jets, and also you don't have a franchise quarterback. That's my issue with the Raiders. They didn't have a franchise quarterback since Kent the Snake Stablers. And that was a long time ago. They don't have that franchise quarterback. And I think next year, 2025, they're probably going to be on a top 10 draft. And they need draft a quarterback. They need to draft a quarterback. They need to draft a number one wide receiver, and so on and so forth. Because the Raiders are a little bit of a mess. But I believe in Antonio Pierce, and that's not his fault. I don't want to see him lose his job because I think he's a great leader for the young man in the locker room. So for that, I will say this. They're ready to draft a QB. Same thing with the Rams. Now moving on for the next game, let's talk about the Commanders versus the Panthers. Great win for the Commanders, 40-7, and I gotta say I got nothing to say about that. Actually, you know what? I would say this: the Panthers have done nothing. Believe me. So Marcus Mariota replaced by Jaden Daniel. He had 18 to 33, 18C, 23 attempts, 205 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Bijan Robinson Jr. Actually, no. It's not Bijan Robinson Jr. What I'm saying. It's not Bijan. It is Brian Robinson Jr. He had 12 carries, 71 yards. He on 1 touchdown, average 5.9. And also with a touchdown, like I said. Scary Terry McLaurin, 6 receptions, 98 yards, 26 targeted. He averaged 16.3. Zach Ertz, 4 receptions, 40 yards, average 10. He had 1 touchdown. He was targeted 5 times. Ben Osino, 2 receptions, 6 yards, average 3.0. He had 1 touchdown. So I think I would say this: the Commanders are the head of the NFC East. If they continue to play like this for the rest of the week, I think the NFC East crown champion will go to the Washington Commanders. I mean, that is a fact. That is a huge fact. And I hope they continue that road. They continue it. Because you got a franchise QB as Jaden Daniel. You got Austin Eckler, veteran, and you got some young piece around him. And I mean, I've never seen the Commander being this excited. I gotta say that. But moving on, the game that I watch. The Kansas City Chiefs versus the 49ers. I mean, great win for the Chiefs, 28-18. I mean, they are 6-0. They're undefeated. With the Patrick Mahomes had not a good game. Actually, both quarterbacks did not have a good game. He had 16C, 37-10, 154 yard, 2 interception, 2 sack, no touchdown, QBR 80. Brock Purdy, he had 17C, 31-10, 212 yard, 3 interception, 1 sack. He has 0 touchdown. I mean, Brock Purdy did do 2 touchdowns, 27 yard by rushing. He averaged 3.4. I mean, Kareem Hunt, like I said, he's the savior. Kareem Hunt, 22 carries, 78 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Same thing with Patrick Mahomes, 1 touchdown. Nicole Harden, 1 touchdown with 38 yards, average 19. I mean, the whole game. I don't know. Did you ever see a Super Bowl rematch in your life that you say, man, this game was boring? And it was boring, even though we see Brock Purdy do a lot of touchdowns. But in terms of the throwing, I mean, both of them were ugly. So I hope next week they'll bounce back. And for the 49ers losing to the Chiefs, as I said, your window is closing. Your window are pretty much like closed. And also, Deebo Samuel is injured. Brandon Ayuk is injured. And we heard the report that I saw that he had a torn ACL. That's how bad it is for the 49ers. And CMC, Christian McCaffrey, we don't know his timetable yet when he's going to come back. So we don't know. Now, the Sunday Night Football. The Jets versus the Steelers. Congratulations to the Steelers, 37-15. And also, it was the debut of Russell Wilson as a Steeler. And I gotta admit that Russell Wilson outperformed Aaron Rodgers. And look at the stat of Russell Wilson. 16C, 21-10, 264 yards, 2 touchdown, 1 sack, average 9.1 compared to Aaron Rodgers. He had 24C, 39-10, 276 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, 1 sack. Look at the QBR. Russell Wilson, 66.3 QBR. Compared to Aaron Rodgers, 50.5. The rushing. Najee Harrison, 21 carries, 102 yards, average 4.9, had 1 touchdown. Breece Hall, 12 carries, 38 yards, 3.2 for the average, 1 touchdown. I mean, compared to Najee, to Breece Hall, I mean, he didn't have a good game. Najee Harrison got a good game. Nobody, actually, Tyler Cookin, 40 reception, 7 yard, 1 touchdown, had targeted 4 times. George Pickens, 15 reception, 111 yard, had 1 touchdown, targeted 9 times. He averaged 22.2. Val Jefferson, targeted twice, had 15 yards, 1 touchdown, he got targeted 3 times, and he averaged 7.5. What does it say now, people? That the Jets are not a contender. The Jets are not a contender. I'm not going to say they're fraud. They are in the middle of the road. They are somewhere in the middle of the road because that team, I know they got Devontae Allen, will take time. It will probably going to take time for both of them to gel. Because they didn't play like over 2 years, something like that. But anyway, it would take time for the Jets on offense to clicking. And Aaron Rodgers, he's in his 40. He doesn't have time. But if he lose, I want Aaron Rodgers to retire. That's all I got to say. Aaron Rodgers need to retire. He's 40 years old. I mean, my God. I don't know what to say. He needs to retire. That's all I'm going to say about Aaron Rodgers. Now, for the Steelers, Russell Wilson looked like himself. And there was a lot of heat for Mike Tomlin to say Russell Wilson will be starting with Justin Field. I said this, Justin Field is still young. He will grow up. Compared to Russell Wilson, he probably going to be his last, but also he want to go in the right way. That's why I'm trying to say that Russell Wilson is probably one of the top, not top elite right now, but back then top elite, very professional, and great win for the Steelers. And also, can I just say something about the uni? So for those who don't understand about the uni, they are giving tribute to the first Super Bowl, 15 years since the Steelers won in New Orleans. So Super Bowl 9 over the Vikings. So that's for the uni. If you want to continue watching football, there's two Monday night games for the football. You got the Ravens versus the Buccaneers in Tampa Bay. I don't think in Tampa Bay. I don't think the Hurricanes over, but I think they're gonna put somewhere else. And also the Chargers versus the Cardinals in Phoenix. So 2 games is pretty much excited. Cannot wait to watch. And that's it for today's show. If you want to follow me on social media, follow me on social media on X, formerly Twitter, at Belly_PMM. On Instagram, it's Pascal_man_15. Same thing with Threads. And if you want to follow this podcast on any platform you want to listen, on audio or visual, you can listen to this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, on my YouTube channel, or on my YouTube channel, Too Good to Be True Podcast, where I will update video and picture information in the community. So thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you next, Saturday morning at 1 a.m. And when I'm friends, in the afternoon, and after an evening, it's probably going to be like what? 5, what is it going to be like? 9 p.m., something like that, 7 p.m., I don't know, something like that, but I'll see you next on Saturday morning when I am in France.